All right. Happy New Year, Shifty Industry. We made a promise to you guys that we would be back in the new year with some Tales from the Walk-In episodes. And we've got a doozy of one for you today.
Oh, we got a bunch of them, man.
Yeah, like always, it's Matty, Patty, myself, yours truly, Timmy, and joining us from beautiful
Hey, nice to meet you, fellas.
Sarasota, Florida. I haven't even introduced you yet. The living legend from Sarasota, Florida, Taylor Collins, everybody. Welcome,
Stay
Taylor.
in school, kids.
Well,
Don't make a living in this business, man. Come on now.
Well, we didn't, and I tell you, we go back that far. You know, this is our, I guess this is our junior episode of Tales from the Walk-In. This will be our third one, and the two that we had previous, we went back. You know, I thought I went back pretty far with some old friends and colleagues, but this one is you and I, man. This is going to break the time machine. I don't know if Doc Brown or Marty's going to be able to get us back on this one. We go back 36, almost 37 years. We met.
Well, Tim, we miss you. We miss you down here. We need you to come visit and keep me up all night and crash on the couch one of these times. It's been a while.
Every time I come down there and I tell myself I'm too old for that shit, and then I end up doing it. But you and I, we've done it all, I tell you. And we met, like I said, we worked side by side for a while there at the old Chili's in Sarasota, where I got started.
Don't let your kids get involved in this business. Terrible.
Yeah, make sure they're grown up a little bit. We're trying to rebuild this thing. We don't want to scare them away too bad.
It's okay. But I'm doing okay.
Meet it at the other side, sort of. So you guys said you met at Chili's. How many places have you guys worked together at?
That was the only one, right?
That was the only one.
Tim was working at Chili's as a busboy at 16.
14.
I worked the line at 19.
Yeah, I was 14. And then I went back and started working pantry right next to you. And that's where all the cool kids were.
Yeah. That's when it started, right? And this guy turned into an amazing bass player.
Oh, well,
a musician. This guy.
I learned everything from you. I did. You were my inspiration, without a doubt, for that kind of stuff. A lot of things. We've been around the block, and we started this segment back before the new year. Last year, it just kind of as a fluke, and it really has kind of taken off. And I'm so excited because when I think about, friends with stories, I think of you first. Because every time we get together, you share one that I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, but there are
and most of them I was involved with, and I how you remember them, and I don't. But
so let's hear some of them.
I got to tell you, I could name a couple, but Taylor,
how about this?
I got a couple in mind. Let's see if they coincide.
How about this motherfucker?
All right, let's do it.
Best of Sarasota.
I know, Nick's Tavern. You were the man at Nick's Tavern.
Best burger.
Hell yeah.
Best burger, nice.
Well, and I put that thing together to make it photogenic.
Oh, it looks great.
Right? It's got chipotle sauce, crumble blue cheese, and shit on it. and we took down the winner of the last 20 years, so fuck them,
Nice. They had a 20
business.
How long have you been?
A 20-year run and you took over?
How long have you been at Nick's?
It'll be 21 years in January.
That's insanity. That's crazy. That's great.
All right, we need to get Layla back in here because she just came in, stuck her head in the window, and said, "Don't be negative."
Oh, Layla, we love you.
You can be negative if you want.
You can be negative. Well, look, we have negative stories. We have positive stories.
Are you busy, Tim?
Right now?
Yeah.
With you? Yeah.
No, I mean busy at work.
The busy as shit. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're crushing me every day.
Oh, I got my ass kicked today.
Oh.
Now, as long as you and I have been in this business, whether you look at that as a negative thing or a positive thing.
No, it's got to be a positive.
Yeah. I mean, But the daily
grind keeps money in the bank.
The daily grind. The reason why we do this podcast is so we can work out all of those things. In a forum, because I tell you, it's not always that positive. We try to keep it positive, but
as long as I can just crash the joint.
Yeah.
On a busy day and cuss like a motherfucker and clean it up when it's done.
Yeah, this is our therapy, man. This is our therapy. This is why we do this. So anything
but I see the same people every day. I'm busy as shit, but I know who likes what.
Nick's is Nick's is an institution. I mean, they've been there forever.
Yeah, I was looking at 21 years in this place. Come next week that I've been there. What the fuck?
I was looking on your guys' website and it said that there's at least a handful of people who have been there since the beginning. Like there's few people who have been there also for 21 years too. That's wild.
Only a handful, but I've been like the only dude during the daytime with the helper. So I create the menu during the day. One guy and like another guy that helped me make some salads or wash dishes and listen to me cuss and bitch about this and that and go, oh, it's time to hustle. Fuck them.
So I worked at a restaurant for 8 years and one place. And that's a pretty long stretch at a single location. I mean, you were there. That's like way longer than that.
Well, we're a very skeleton crew. If somebody needs to go to the hospital for surgery, Nicole, the owner, she'd jump behind the line any day of the week.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. Same with my place. Yeah, it's tiny. I've got 7 employees. Yeah.
Yeah. That's about us. That's us too, Terry.
Well, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's a family. But you've been there a long time. I've worked in all kinds of different type places. But still, I mean, I think of some of the stories. Just from Chili's alone, I'm going to let you.
I'm still in love with you.
Oh, well,
I'm just thinking about your Thin Lizzy t-shirt. I'm trying to come up with some Thin Lizzy.
We've had a long love affair, Taylor.
Right.
But let's get into it.
Okay, what are we getting into?
I want to hear you tell me. You told me a story about when actually, I think before you were working at
I got stories
Chili's,
about everything.
Before you were working,
when I was young, man. I'm too old to have.
Before you were working at Chili's, and I think you told me this story at Chili's when you were on your way. You were working at 1776.
All right, and you
had an interesting ride to work, didn't you?
It's fucking horrific. Okay.
Well, that's why we're here.
All right, my mom was at work, a town away, and there was some older punk rock dude that was buying me beer, and I think he was trying to massage my feet or do something weird or whatever. But he got me completely hammered in the afternoon listening to Black Flag or the Circle Jerks or whatever. This is the 80s, you kids. You guys are young. I can fucking tell it.
The 80s. I love the 80s. That's when I was born.
And it was oh shit, I gotta go to work. I'm just a dishwasher. I'm I gotta go to work, man. But I've been drinking beer all day. So I get on my skateboard and I gotta go to work. Let you guys know I'm 53, but I didn't even get a driver's license till I was 40. Okay. I've been riding a skateboard forever,
Yep, that's the Taylor I know.
I was man, I'm late for work. I'm drunk, and I'm skateboarding next to the highway and hit a crack in the sidewalk and hit my head on the ground, man. I'm that's embarrassing. People on the road, people on the road saw that.
They say embarrassment is the best medicine for pain, and I think that's what.
And I was oh my god, I was I am hammered. I was I need to sneak in the back of the restaurant because I'm late for work now, and I'm hammered at 15 years old. But at this restaurant I worked, you had to go all the way into the middle of the dining room to clock in. So I was after I hit my head on the sidewalk and saw people, I was embarrassed. I was like, I'm a skateboarder, man. I don't do, I got my pride, And everywhere I walk, people are looking at me like that guy looks like a weirdo, So I
Did
was
you
like,
get, were you all
"Oh."
like bloodied from hitting your head?
But I didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't look. I hadn't looked yet. I just thought I was stoned. I was just like, why is everybody looking at me? Yeah, I'm pretty stoned. I didn't realize I was like pumping blood out of the back of my head, like covered in blood, like worse than the Carrie movie and shit, So I was like, oh shit, I'm late for work. I'm 16 years old, okay? So I sneak in the back of the 1776 restaurant, and everybody, everywhere I've been the last like 20 minutes, everybody that walks by me just gasps, I couldn't understand. I was like, yeah, I'm stoned,
Yeah, I don't normally fall on my skateboard. That was
I don't really have blood pumping out of my head, And I like go through the dining room and everybody's doing it at the tables and stuff, man. I'm trying to clock in. Sorry, I'm late. It gets better. And all of a sudden it's like the manager or somebody is grabbing me by the arms and taking me to the bathroom to watch my blood pumping out of my head in the mirror, going, you don't even notice this is going on? Like, should I take the night off?
I said I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was late. What else do you need?
You need to go to like Quick Care or whatever it was in 1985 or something. I am like, fucking A. I go back to home where my mom's out at night, living home with my mom. And that by that time it kind of sealed up. So I just took some scissors, cut off the hair, took off all the bloody clothes and just threw them in the laundry room, called my buddies, said, hey man, I got the night off. Let's go skateboarding.
I got to make up for my faux pas. Yeah.
So my mom didn't know where I was. So she shows up. I didn't know this. She shows up at work and there's just like a trail of bloody footprints of bloody clothes. And, she's calling the morgue, calling the police department. Where's my son? There's just blood all over the house. Sorry, Mom. I'm out skateboarding.
Out skateboarding.
Got the night off. I still got the mark up here, man. It's badass.
Oh man.
Teenagers are dumb, man. Teenagers are so stupid.
All right, check this out, dude. You guys got one of these?
A severed
What's
head?
your job?
A severed head?
No, what's your job? Is a chef? You guys all chefs?
I'm a chef. Matt's out of the business. He's
Previous chef.
What the fuck you guys do then?
I sell
What's
stuff.
this guy do?
now.
Matt, he's not a chef anymore.
Right. He's
What do you do?
Smart.
What do you
one.
do?
I
You
sell
making
stuff to
cupcakes.
chefs now.
Making cupcakes? You got
No.
some cupcakes. You too? You cupcake man?
I eat cupcakes, plenty of them.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Pat works for Resi. They're both in restaurant technology.
Restaurant software.
Yeah.
What's in the bag? What you got in the bag?
What I got in the bag?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not a pro fucking job. This is in my backpack every day.
That's
Well, let's see it.
like you're about to
Definitely
hop
not
a
a helmet.
train and go fucking.
Maybe a toothbrush.
In case something happened.
Bandages.
Yeah, that's smart. In case you gotta
Sharp
clock
knives
in.
are better than dull knives. Another bandage. Duct tape.
Oh yeah.
For when you cut yourself, then there's no bandages.
And
Yeah.
then what else do you need with that?
Super glue.
You got it? I got a toothbrush in case I get a date. But yeah,
Wait, is this your
Tim,
first date?
have you ever had
Or is
to
this your night roll? What
seal
is
your
it?
shit up together with crazy glue?
Yeah.
You know how to do
I
it with
used
the
to use
quickness?
blue tape. Just blue tape and wrap it around.
Crazy
No,
glue
you ain't.
and duct tape.
Mm-mm. Cauterize it with bleach or coffee grounds and then hit it with a whole tube of crazy glue and wrap it up tight, man, and deal with it a couple days later because you're busy. You're in business, you know.
Hey man,
That's what I'm saying.
it works. You know, I've been cut up pretty bad and been in a pinch. Yeah. Well, check this out.
This is your first aid kit.
First aid kit.
Yeah, he's got a whole first aid bag.
I need to make this more pro. This shit's usually in my backpack.
Right. Because you never know.
Never mind the bourbon and weed that's in there. Oh, look. Scissors.
Yeah,
just in case you
I watched
back to work.
Well, I will share this story because I watched it happen. We were working at Chili's and it was at the end of the night and we were cleaning the hoods. This is back when line cooks gave a shit and you'd actually like get up there with Sheila Shine and clean the hoods and polish the hoods. I don't know if that happens anymore, but it did back then. And I watched
This is when you would drop your acid like an hour before you got out of work.
Right.
So you have a long night, or a better morning,
Well, it may have had a factor in the outcome of this because this was absolutely insane. And this was, like I said, back in the 80s. And I'll preface this. He's up, hey, Taylor's like, hey, buddy, toss me that can of Sheila Shine. Well, Taylor goes to grab it. And where does it go, Taylor?
Right into the fryer.
Yeah, it lands in the fryer. And this was back when that shit sank. So what does Taylor do?
I stick my arm in a deep fryer.
Elbow deep.
And pull the thing out and toss it down the kitchen exploding.
Yeah.
And go, motherfucker, that's just the dumbest idea I've ever had.
Yeah, but he just saved all of our lives because if that thing would have sat in there any longer, that whole thing would have exploded. Taylor runs to the end of the line and sticks his hand in the ice machine. Yeah. For how long, I don't know.
How bad
I was like, I need the rest of the night off, right?
Well, yeah, you definitely were an opportunist at that point.
Oh man, and my hand around a cold beer later.
And the acid was kicking in at that point. So
yeah, and my hand around a cold beer that I wasn't even old enough to drink at the time.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared. It was,
and I forgot all about it till the next day. I was like,
but it didn't blister.
I had one little.
If you do it fast, you're good.
Yeah, that was the amazing part.
I wouldn't recommend it, Raymond.
No, but the next day it was like it never really happened, right?
And the thing that was pretty weird is that I had a necklace that I had made of an alligator claw that I had sawed off an illegal alligator that we poached in the rivers and ate the rest of them. So the
statute of limitations will deal with that. I ain't worry about that. But that was
I thought that was like pretty cool that I was allowed to work in the kitchen with a freaking like festering alligator arm around my neck at the time, which I did, right?
Yeah, it was kind of your signature thing there. It was cool. You were cool, still are. Shit.
Yeah, we were pretty cool. You're cool, Tim, because you run your own joint.
Well, maybe I don't know if it's cool, but it's
yeah, no shit, right? Yeah.
How
about you guys? You work for him or what?
I used to. He fired me.
Pat's worked for me on and off. Pat and I worked together when I first moved here. We worked at a place called Caviar and Bananas together.
Tim eliminated my position at his restaurant, so I call that fired. Like, I only worked Saturdays, and then he stopped being open on Saturdays. Am I fired? Kinda. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't seem like restaurant type, man.
I'm a huge pussy. I don't know.
Yeah, get out of there, man. Get ready. Run away as fast as you can.
Yeah, I sit at home and sell software now. I don't have to.
Smart.
Yeah, I can't do math, man, so I can't figure that shit out. yeah, because she's gone.
So Taylor, real quick, I know that this is something I wanted to bring up too, and to kind of get. Layla mentioned, hey, keep it positive.
I like your goatee, Tim. You're looking good.
Oh,
I wish you'd come down here so I could give you a hug in person.
Well, I will be there. I get you twice a year, once a year at least.
I know.
I get down to see my dear mama, here in the spring. So we'll be down there. But speaking of,
where's your mom? In Venice?
She's in Venice. Yep, indeed.
Okay. She did okay with the hurricane?
She did. She I went down. It's what I actually I had to. I cannot tell a lie. I was actually down there a couple weeks after that whole thing went through. I was down there to help
You
them.
didn't come see me.
I didn't come and see. I was in and out. But hey, I've noticed that you guys at Nick's do a lot of charity work. Like you guys do a lot of like stuff for the community, don't you? Like
Maybe not so much right now, but we changed our whole business model for COVID and shit.
right. But I've read some articles where you guys definitely you've helped out some nurses because you're right there by the hospital, and you guys have done some other stuff.
Yeah,
where
during COVID and stuff, we fed those guys and people don't. The local rich people. I don't know if you dudes realize where I work or the neighborhood where I work, but it's a lot of money involved. You know.
Well, that's Sarasota in general, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, these days it's hard to. We're kind of like, you know, living here, but otherwise it's being really like gentrified or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the neighborhood that you're in, we used to party in that neighborhood long before, over there. Yeah, right there over by, and you got the old 5 o'clock club used to be there, and all the bars and stuff like that. But
yeah, everything that gets like bought out these days gets torn down, and the new house looks like a cinder block, or something,
right?
Reaching to the sky. So,
but I did notice that you were doing a lot of that stuff definitely during COVID, and I think that's good stuff. So that's a good positive story that you guys like to help out the community and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man, I will give a shout out. Look it up anytime. We got everything. I'm not involved, but I get a call every morning, like, what are we doing today? What's the specials? What's this and that? I'm like, give me a fucking minute. I just get, before we post it online.
Then I get 1 foot in the fucking door.
Before we post it online, and there's all this.
That was me this morning. Yeah, I hear you.
Like computer stuff that I don't know. I'll walk out and say hi to the locals that I know.
Well, you're a local legend. I don't know if you know that, but you are.
If anybody
maybe not even more locally, but
if anybody tells me my bean and ham soup is too salty, the apron's coming off and I'm running into the dining room to tell some motherfucker, you know what ham is? It's fucking salt cured pork, you bitch. If you guys are in agreement with that,
that's what's up.
Like, who are they? They got to be a tourist.
Yeah, and then you put their soup down and they ask for salt and pepper, so they put salt in it themselves. So that's what happened.
But anyway. Sometimes I meet people that are like, we're seasonal. We've been senior for 20 years. Now they're like 89 years old. I don't know. And they come to see me every year.
Well,
nice.
That's because
like
I said,
I know
you're a legend
on a first name basis. I should have stayed in school and done something better with my life besides this. But as far as the restaurant business goes, not half bad, man. I was able to raise children and be at all their sports practices and games and everything else. And for the most part, for 21 years, only working Monday through Friday days in this business. That's unheard of, right?
That's what's up. You've earned that. So yeah.
It's also unheard of to like get a schedule like that, much less like do all those things you just said. So that's awesome. Kudos to you.
And it's giving
you need to have talent to do that, though.
Yeah,
well, you do. You do have lots of talent. Speaking of talent, you got any gigs coming up? You still playing with the Chillbillies thing? You still doing that?
I've been playing with this band called Here and There. I haven't had a gig in a while. I actually played a gig the other night. It was for 2,000 people. And it was with a band where the mom and the daughter sing. The son plays the guitar and the drums at the same time. And I play the bass. And we cover everything from like Miley Cyrus to Bruno Mars to Adele to pop music. And I played in front of 2,000 people.
That's awesome.
I'm like, I love my pop. Occasionally, I like my pop.
You can do it all.
It's out of my wheelhouse.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. What about the rock band? You playing with those guys? Got any Stottlemyre shows coming up or anything like that?
I'm not sure, probably.
Yeah.
That shit kind of got boring a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna dig up some. So what I like to do is I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this out. This will be on Patreon. No, I'm gonna dig up some old. Taylor was in a band called One Block South that was, goddamn near put Sarasota on the map for kick-ass rock and roll back in the day. And I've got some old recordings of that I'm gonna pepper in to this.
Okay, that'd be cool.
We'll close it out with that. It's some good shit. It always was an event.
I had a chance to move forward in the, I fucked it up when I was young,
Well,
just by partying too much.
Well,
happens to the best of us.
That's what rock and roll is for, is it not?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you did it right.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
I think the recording I have is with just you, Ross, and Dennis Pitch.
Really? I'd like to hear that.
I think it's just I think it's just a
Because there's
three-piece.
a couple rarities out there that are like missing and lost in the fog.
Yeah, and as weird as I don't even think you have any of them.
That's fucking nuts. Need to dig it.
I think I got it from you, and I was like, you have that? I don't even have that. So yeah, we'll pepper that in.
You guys are funny, man. I've never seen shit like this before. You guys are awesome.
Man, you're awesome
Quit
for
your
coming
job
on
and
and
grow your hair.
Well, I'm trying to quit my job, and I have been growing my hair. How about that?
This guy's my man.
You got you, Taylor. All right, so we're gonna wrap up this episode of Tales from the Walk-In.
This is the most
but
amazing episode I have ever seen of whatever the fuck it is. It's awesome.
that is going to be like that is going to be an endorsement on repeat.
That's the promo.
On that is the promo.
My house looks better than your couch any day of the fucking week.
Indeed,
Look at
you have an amazing pad, and you know what? You signed away all your rights to anything that comes out of your mouth by coming on here, Taylor. So I'm going to use
fuck
that.
this party. I'll show some titty too.
But but I cannot thank you enough for coming on and doing this. Stick around because we'll end the recording, but I can't thank you enough once we stop. Stick around for coming on and sharing those stories. I mean, it's fucking amazing that after 36 almost 37 years that we can still get together and do this through technology, or when I get down there and see you need to get your ass up here.
I know I do.
Come see us. And thank you. And we'll do a couple shout outs too. And massive shout out to your awesome, beautiful, lovely wife, Layla, for setting this up and getting you getting you in front of the computer. Thank you, Layla, so much. And so
if you're ever in Charleston, come visit the Southern General.
Yes,
because they make some pork belly like a motherfucker. I will tell me how to do something with pork belly, man.
All right.
Before we end the show, how do you cook that shit and make it like a $20 appetizer or some shit?
Well, you smoke it for a little bit, and then you braise it for a little bit.
All right.
Put it on a smoker for about 30 minutes. Get a nice little coat on there, and then put it in a pan with a little bit of liquid. Braise it for about 2.5 hours. Let it cool, slice it up, grill it, do whatever you want to do. You're good to go. That's
like a little fucking toast point or some shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Put it on some bread, some barbecue sauce, and some coleslaw.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. They like kale. All them
kale.
All them gentrifiers in Sarasota like that kale. They like that. Do that.
Crisp some kale.
Stacked. All right. Well. You asked.
I know I'm getting called out by the wife for language. So.
Oh no, that is fair game on this podcast. Apparently, someone hasn't watched.
Oh my gosh! There's so much different ways we could go with this podcast as far as recipes. Like, I don't know if you guys are into being a chef.
That's another podcast, Taylor. This podcast, Tales from the Walk-In, is a recipe for disaster. But we avoided that today. And you know what?
Did I show you all
Shif-
my super glue and duct
Shif-
tape and
you,
shit?
You
Oh.
did. You did.
All
And
right.
Shifty Industry, you asked, and we delivered. Happy New Year. Signing off from another episode of Tales from the Walk-In. We've got more coming up. Stay tuned. More episodes, more fun stuff coming in the new year. We love you. Thank you, Taylor, Layla, Matty, Patty, Timmy. We're out.
Next time you see me, things just won't be the same. Next time you see me, baby, things just won't be the same. No good woman, another queen is to the blame. Like a true saying, all that shines just like gold. Like a true saying, all that shines just like gold. No good woman, another queen is on the throne. You know you lied and cheated, for so long. You know you lied and cheated, for so long. You're no good woman, another queen is on your throne. Next time you see me, things just won't be the same. Next time you see me, baby, things just won't be the same. You're no good woman, another queen is on the blame. Next time you see me, things just won't be the same. Next time you see me, things just won't be the same. No good woman, no one ever to blame.